Mr. Toastmaster and fellow Toasties. So today, excuse me, but I would like to have a little fun, and I'd like to be a little expressive. Now, how many of you have ever had a bad boss? Raise your hand. Very good. Now, how many of you ever doubted your leadership ability? Now, we've all been there. We've all dealt with a situation wrong, or we lost our anger. The difference between a bad boss and a great boss means all the difference in how successful you are as a leader. Now, a few months ago, I came across this book called The 5 Levels of Leadership by John Maxwell, in which he argues that we are all on a leader's journey, where we must progress through his 5 levels of leadership in order to become a successful leader. Now, in this speech, I'm going to cover those 5 levels of leadership, starting with rights, starting with relationships, results, people development, and respect. Because this is the premise of the 5 levels of leadership, and he believes we are all somewhere on this spectrum. And when we encourage ourselves to learn where we are, we can progress through this and become a better leader to the people around us. Now, starting with level 1, we have rights. Position is a poor substitute for influence, which is why the first level of pulling rank or using your position to exercise authority over others is a bad strategy. Because people will follow you because it's their job. But I can tell you from personal experience, it does not end well. Because these imperialistic styles of leadership, they might get the job done in the short term, but definitely not in the long run. Now, in level 2, we have building relationships. Because as a leader in this position, you have built a rapport with your colleagues. And generally, everyone likes each other. Now, this is an important level because relationships are the foundation for any leader. They are what make people willing to listen to you, to follow you, and otherwise, it's back to square one. Now, in this level, people do 3 things particularly well. They are able to listen, observe, and learn from others. They do not succumb to fundamental attribution error because they don't immediately blame the person for their fault. They garner an attitude of servitude, that they are a teacher helping others. Now, at level 3, we turn our attention to the results that you can produce as a leader. Think of yourself as a tour guide, not a travel agent. You want to foster your team's productivity and not micromanage it. Now, starting out, this might mean you need to get your hands dirty and show your people the kind of results you want to see. Now, a manager, they might try to solve a problem, but a true leader, they know how to create momentum towards that goal. Because they know 80% of those problems can be solved with momentum. Now think of a train traveling at 100 miles an hour. It will smash through a 2-foot concrete block with ease. But if you put a 1-inch block of concrete in front of those wheels before it even starts, honey, that train ain't going nowhere. Now, in the 4th level of leadership, we have people development. This is the most appreciated asset in any organization because when you commit to developing your people develop you, but they also develop the company. Now, author Jim Collins, he once said that we must first get the right people on the bus and then in the right seats. And then they will figure out where to drive that bus to. Now, you must not only be good at recruiting people, but you must find the right position for their unique skills and attributes so that they will do a good job. Now level 5. This is the hallelujah level. Because when you reach this level, people will follow you because they absolutely respect you for the qualities that you have as a leader. And also the accomplishments that you made. So this is where you find the people who will follow you to hell or high water. Because that is the 5th and final level that we will encounter. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is your turn. To get on the top requires slow and steady growth, starting from level 1. Because each level builds upon the next. So stop and ask yourself, how could you apply the 5 levels of leadership to your life and to your workplace? So pick up a copy of John Maxwell's book today and find out for yourself.
You surprised me. I don't know if you surprised anybody else. But it does